G'day. We're about 2 hours west of Sydney, heading towards the Jenolan State Forest. It's a bit overcast at the moment, but we're hoping it will clear up to be a really nice day. We're about to do a bit of four-wheel driving. I've got a few challenges, a few hill climbs to do. Wet weather overnight, probably make the track a little bit greasy, so it could be fun. So sit back now, relax, and enjoy our trip. Leading our day trip would be Jono in his 80 Series Land Cruiser Sahara. And after giving us a quick briefing on what to expect, what to do and what to avoid, we were on our way. You see a lot of full-on action on four-wheel drive TV, but this trip is about taking your almost standard rig off-road where you're unlikely to damage it, but still experience some serious off-roading. I was tagging along with 5 other vehicles, and there was a varying mixture of experience among the drivers, including a few who were pretty much first-timers. Jono was leading the way and reminded us that the first half of the trip was going to be relatively easy. Now, as I said before, there is a mix of different skill levels on this trip. This is Pete. He's had plenty of off-road experience and his patrol is kitted out with diff locks, so this presented no real challenge. But for some of the drivers like Jeremy in his stock Navara, this first section was a good intro for what was to come. The road conditions change a lot down here in the valley. One section is slippery and muddy, the next bony and dry. And our first real hill climb was just that. Very bony, and considering the overnight rain, very dry. Most of us eased our four-wheels up the long hill without much difficulties. This next section was another rocky climb, this time down the hill with a few drop-offs and ledges. Downhill sections are often harder to do. Controlling the brakes in order not to slide down the hill can be tricky business, so using low range and low gear is the way to go. Then just let the engine do all the work. As we got lower in the valley, we worked our way into some lush forests, and it really is a very pretty place. Worthwhile having a quick break to take in some of the rainforest atmosphere. This is our first challenging bit of the day. It's been fairly easy up to now, but we're actually got a bit of a hill climb to do. Instead of just going into the bull of the gate, we're actually having a look at it first. Just going to work out our wheel placement. You can have a tendency to slide. And if you start sliding backwards, you lose steering, you lose everything, and it can get a little bit messy, so for safety reasons, we'll just take one vehicle up at a time. Seeing as Jono was leading, he was first up and very quickly got the car stuck. And there's the problem. He's got the diff hung up on the centre of the track, so he's going to need to take a different approach. I reckon he should keep up on the high side rather than in those ruts. So let's see how he goes using this line of attack. So there you go. It's amazing how easy he got up, taking that slightly different approach. When we come back, it'll be my turn. We're back in the Jenolan State Forest, and now it's my turn to tackle this slippery hill.
So just run your driver's side right up on that ridge.
Keep that in the middle. Yep, there we go. No worries. Okay, we're just very important to get the placement of the vehicle right. And there we go, we're up first try. The next little bit is also pretty slippery and we need to just keep the momentum up or we'll be over this part. Let me tell you, this is a lot steeper than it looks. That bit there was a little bit difficult. The rain has made things fairly moist on the track, but again, just wheel placement and a little bit of care and you should be able to get up here, and we're just watching Andrew come up now. Andrew is a bit of a novice, and this is his first real serious four-wheel drive trip, so he's taking it fairly carefully. Once again, wheel placement is pretty important, and whilst there's a lot of wheel spin here, he's moving forward. Yep, there we go. He's over that bit. So how are you feeling about that, Andrew?
Well, that's a bit scary up to this point, but we'll see how we go. The next bit's going to be the real challenge.
And whilst the rest of the crew got up this section fine, Daniel was struggling. How are you feeling about this one?
A little bit nervous. So I've got pretty much nerves, I think.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'll give it a
Okay,
crack.
let's give it a go. Jono's just giving Daniel a bit of guidance and advice. Daniel's not a real experienced four-wheel driver either, but this is what it's all about. Gaining valuable experience in a group is the way to go. And these type of trips allow you to get a bit out of your comfort zone without the risk of getting too stuck. Okay, so he's out of that one. On to the next challenge. Jono and I are checking it out first and devising our respective driving lines. And off he goes. The height of Jono's 80 series is a distinct advantage, but Jono has his own secret.
In doubt, more throttle.
I was second up again, and I had a plan. Keep my wheels high and try for a quick run up the left-hand side of the track. Okay, good plan, but obviously that wasn't going to work. That didn't work. I was going to try and do it at a different approach, but we got stuck, so let's just try it again. Still no go. Okay, what we're doing now, just putting a log in the ditch there, just to try and get a little bit more height for me. I'm getting stuck on the diff on the centre rise. That's made a big difference. Now we're making some forward progress. And while I've got this momentum, I think I'll keep going. That was pretty tough going through there. Tried to stick to the high points, but with the dampness in the ground, she just slid straight down into the holes. Gave the back a bit of a nudge on the car. That'll pop out again. Even with the back jacked up, you need all the clearance in the world. When we return, we'll see how the rest get on and complete our Jenolan day trip. We're back again in the Jenolan State Forest, where Andrew is about to experience his first lesson in getting stuck. This red clay is exceptionally slippery, and staying up on the high part of the road is really hard. Let's try the other side. Now he's plugged the exhaust. Time to experience the art of digging oneself out. Okay, what we're doing here, we're actually going to winch Andrew out. He's got himself into a bit of a bind there. This is where we're going to be using a pulley system, which gives us a bit of a mechanical advantage. And as you can see, we're winching Andrew from Pete's patrol below. Winching can be dangerous, so it is always important to get everyone clear of the cable. It can also be a slow process, and sometimes needs to be done in small chunks. He's slowly getting closer to the top of the hill. The winch is not doing so good and stops halfway. In the end, we needed to get the turfer out and hand winch him those last few metres. With Andrew out of the way, Pete had a clear run and made it up trouble-free. Those locked diffs coming in real handy on the slippery surface. We are now stopped at challenge number 2, and we are all out of our trucks to check out the rocky climb. Jono is going first, and this surface is very different to what we had only 200 metres down the road. It's still quite wet, but just like the slippery red clay, these rocks are proving to be a real challenge. There's a bit of an obvious path to take, but it's a zigzag effort to get to the top.
Straighten up. Get it straight.
Okay, Jono, what are we doing here?
Well, it's getting pretty late in the day, so just to save on a bit of time, rather than try to negotiate this and stack the rocks on the road for all the other cars, we're going to try and we're just going to pull through.
And Jeremy was first to be towed. Okay, how was that, Jeremy?
My heart is pounding like a bongo drum. I've never done this before.
Well done. Well, we got through. Got you up. Next up was Pete, and he got over this tricky rock ledge pretty much first go. Now remember, apart from locked diffs, his patrol is very much a standard car, which just goes to show how much of a difference lockers can make. Once we got to the top of the hill, it was all pretty easy going. And apart from a few large puddles to negotiate, we were soon at our final destination. The lookout at the edge of the escarpment, which gave us a great view of the valley below and the Hydro Majestic on the cliff opposite.
If I aim for it, I would never do it. It's not going to survive. That was a good day.
Well, that just about brings us to the end of today. Certainly been a few challenges along the way, to get towed out a few times, but the vehicles have all done really, really well. Even the old buses. And we hope to get out here again in the not too distant future and try it all again. Look forward to seeing you all next time.